and it's live at 5 here in the Oregon Family Cooking Kitchen. It's Monday night. We're going to do some onion rings. Pretty exciting, I know. All right, so my deep fryer was literally just giving me trouble. I couldn't get the light on, but it appears to be working. Maybe I'm just tripping. So I'm going to start actually with the sauces while we get y'all in here. My deep fryer is heated up. I got my onion on the ready, my batter's ready to go as well. But my sauce, I'm going to do a ranch sauce and a zesty mayo dipping sauce. Zesty mayo. So I'm going to start with some mayonnaise. I'm going to get out a couple dishes for sauces because I forgot. Hi, welcome in. We're getting ready to do some onion rings. My deep fryer is heated up to 375. I'm going to turn it down to 350. And then right now I'm doing the dipping sauces. Hi, welcome in everybody. My mic's on. Good, okay. Double checking. So to start with, this is zesty dipping mayo sauce. It's kind of a classic like you would get with a blooming onion. I'm going to do a blooming onion later on my other live. But right now we're going to do some onion rings. I'm going to make up the sauce. We're going to do about a half a cup of mayo of your choice, whatever brand you choose. I'm going with my fave. Hi, Arizona, how are you? All right. Hope everybody had a good Monday. It's coming together. Then I'm going to add in a couple tablespoons of ketchup. Approximately. And a little bit of horseradish, like a tablespoon. So I'm going to start with the sauces, and then we're going to get the onion sliced and dipped and fried. I'm going to do them two ways. I generally do not use a beer or club soda salt batter. I generally just do an egg and milk, and I love it that way, but today I'm going to do it two ways. I'm going to do it with my egg and milk mixture and then with some club soda in place of beer because I don't have beer. I didn't have this either, but I wasn't going to buy just a whole case of beer for one beer. That would have been a problem. Anywho, I'm going to do that. Then there's a little bit of paprika and onion powder and garlic powder involved in this little bits. I'm not measuring, but approximately half a teaspoon. Onion, garlic, and paprika. All the powders. All the powders. Welcome in. Oh. Now I was going to add a little bit of Frank's Hot in there, but you could also add a little bit of cayenne pepper or none at all if you don't want it hot. And of course I just literally got this, so bear with me a moment. And that's it. And a little bit of salt. See if I can open it. Oh, it's a pop. Nice. All right, just a little. Shit. Depending on your heat level. Hi, welcome in. We're going to do these onion rings, but we need dip. I can't even tell you what I just had to see. What I had the pleasure to see, but Dustin for you. All right, I'll taste it. Did I put any salt? No, I didn't. So let's add a little. And that is a classic dip sauce that you would maybe get at a steakhouse place with your blooming onion, but we're just using it for regular onions, onion rings today. That's good. Perfect. So I'm going to put this in the fridge to chill. You want to let it chill or, meld all those flavors together for at least 5 minutes. I'm going to dirty a spatula to save a teeny tiny bit. So I'm going to put this one in the fridge. The second one I'm doing is basically a ranch dip. But I'm going to use, in place of mayonnaise, I'm going to use sour cream. So I could probably just use this container and do it, but we'll throw it in a bowl. Let's dirty a bowl, shall we? Not a lot left in here, so we're just gonna scrape it clean and call it good. And then I'm gonna put in some milk. No, I did this, sour cream. I'm gonna add in my seasoning here, which is ranch seasoning. Hold on, lady. I'm sorry, I was using sour cream in place of milk. That's why I was confused for a second. So we are doing mayonnaise, sour cream, and the ranch seasoning. Equal parts the mayonnaise to sour cream, and then just throw in your seasoning to taste. And I buy that in the bulk seasoning, whatever brand. It's much cheaper than by the packet for sure. And if you make it as much as I do, or your own ranch seasonings, or I use that in a lot of things, it's worth it to buy it in the big pack. At least I make my own. But why? Why? Definitely need more flavor. Okay, so those are going to be my two sauces, basically a ranch sauce. And then we did like a steakhouse onion ring sauce. Simple. You could also just grab some ranch out of the bottle and you're good to go, but that's good. All right, so I did equal parts mayonnaise and sour cream, and then I just threw in my ranch seasoning. Throw that in the fridge as well. Oh, shit. That was a mess. Kind of caught it with its bowl. All right, we got it. We'll deal with that later. All right. Equal parts mayonnaise and sour cream and some seasoning. That was it. The other one was mayonnaise, ketchup, some Frank's hot sauce, some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, paprika. Mixed it all together. Okay, now we have sauces. So right here, I got an onion. Now normally I use a white onion, but this is a sweet onion, a Vidalia. Is that how you say it? Vidalia onion. The Vidalias are sweet. The white ones are very faint, and the yellow ones are very strong. So I like to generally use the white onion, but I went ahead and grabbed some Vidalias today. Vidalias. Anyway, so get your ring off carefully to get to the onion. Now my deep fryer is preheated. If you don't have a deep fryer, just get yourself a pot and put a few inches of oil, neutral oil like canola or vegetable. I'm using vegetable in this deep fryer. And you can do it right on your stovetop. It's just harder to control your temperature. And so it's harder to find that perfect cook point, which in the deep fryer is 350. Okay, so get your onion. And then I go, about a 1/4 inch. And try to cut it nice and straight. Does it always happen? No. If you like bigger onion rings, do it. Go for a fat onion. But I like them thinner, personally. There's really no wrong or right way to do it. All right, so then you go in and pop them out. Now here's the important thing. There's a little membrane inside, like so. See it? You got to get that out of there. If you don't, your breading doesn't stick. At least in that part. So it's a little tedious. It takes a few minutes. You could also soak your onion after you slice it in some cold water for half an hour or so, and that'll help release it some. But if you just take a minute, and not all of them have it hanging off like that. It's just when it's, because that'll adhere to that little membrane and peel right off. So you want to remove it. That's the trick. And some onions are worse. This one's not so bad. And we're not going to do a ton of these. We're just going to do up, I was going to do it in a, not a beer batter, but I'm using club soda. And then the other batter, it's the same seasoning and everything. The only difference is the liquid. And I'm going to do milk and egg, which is how I always do it, and I love them. But I want to do a side-by-side with using club soda and or beer. I didn't have a beer, so I'm using club soda. So you just do a little onion inspection and get those hanging downy membranes off. No hanging chads. Just kidding. No, that shows how old I am. Okay, we got onions. All right, and that's quite a bit of onion rings for one medium onion. Not too bad. This one's got some issue though. We're getting that off. Okay. Ta-da. All right, I feel good about my pile of onions now. I didn't have too many of those to pull off. And the rest, I'm just not dealing with that right now. We got plenty. Welcome in, everybody. We're doing onion rings two ways. Basically, the batter ingredients are the same. The difference is the wet part of it. I'm going to do one with my egg and milk mixture and one with club soda. Club soda and beer work similar, I guess, in the way that they will make them crispy and light and fluffy, however it works. I always do egg and milk, honestly. But today I thought, let's do it both ways. Right on live and see what we think. Maybe I'm missing out. I did it with beer before, did it with club soda, and then when I did it with my egg and milk, I was like, hey, it's just as good, personally. Okay, so in these dishes, they're the same ingredients. I have a cup and a half of flour, half a cup of cornstarch, and some seasoning. Let me just look because I'll never remember. A teaspoon baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon black pepper, a teaspoon garlic powder, a teaspoon onion powder. So that's what's currently in each of these same little bowls or dishes. So this one we'll go ahead and use the egg and milk, which is my traditional way that I do it. So I got a cup of milk and an egg. I've also did it where you do the two dip, where you dip it in egg batter and then in dry and then in egg and back and forth. And I've did a lot of ways, and I prefer just the way I'm doing it right now. A one dip batter. But it works out beautifully. All right, let's get it to a batter consistency. My deep fryer is at 350. So that's it. And you know, I was not a big onion eater as a kid, but I liked onion rings, so I don't understand sometimes how that works. Again, use a white onion or very mild. The yellow onion, the Vidalia, those are sweet, and that's what I'm using today. It's very mild and sweet onion flavor. And a yellow onion, that's very strong. So it's all about you, how you like it. I don't like those really strong, overwhelming onion. I like the white and or sweet. Okay, mix it all together and make a batter. That might even be plenty of water or milk. And you want to use a 1% or 2% milk. Don't use a heavy cream. You want some lightness to it. Okay, let's go ahead and get a batch of these in for fun. And they can fry while we mix up the second type, which is the same base. We're just going to use club soda. I need to get a couple tongs. See if I can keep them from dipping in each other's goods. Probably not. I got 1, 2. Sorry, I should have got them out. I wasn't ready. All right. Ideally, I don't dip around, but I know I will. Okay, so dip them. Coat them. Like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and get, I'm going to drop 1 and we'll check it out. I like to do a tester. And I'll scoot you over here so you can see what's happening in there a little bit. Oh yeah, that's going to work. So over here, I'll have to move it a little more for you, but it always kind of sticks at first, so it sinks and then it pops up. So let me pop it. Let's get you a better view of the situation. Oh, there we go. We have some frying going on. All right. There we go. If I get in this corner, you can see me and the fryer. Like that. All right. So we got 1 in. Yay. Okay, let's do more. Now these are the milk and egg. That's what this batter is. We'll get a little batch in and then we'll do the second one while these cook. The seltzer water. So it takes, I don't know how many minutes. I just do it till it looks right. A few more in there. Again, if you do not have a deep fryer, that's okay. Just get you a pan, preferably one with a heavy bottom, and put it over medium-high heat. If you have a temp it, 350 is where you want to be. It's a little harder to control your temperature on that kind of pan, but you can do it. Or a skillet, you could do it in there too. When they sink, you kind of want to release them from the bottom. All right. So this one's starting to get nice and golden. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to throw 1 more in for this batch of the milk and egg batter. And then we'll work on the other. So I really just want to show you how to make them. Usually I'm making like a whole onion's worth. It's a real pain because these guys like them. My family is in love with these. Can't make enough. All right, feel good about it. Now I just want to watch them, kind of move them around. You know, I've never really timed it. I'm guessing 5 minutes, maybe 7. I don't know. All right, so we're gonna let those get golden. I have a plate with a rack ready to put them on. This is how I do it, just with my baking rack. And then I set them on and I salt them right away when they come off. That way the grease can drip without putting them on paper towel. Wow. My son got a haircut, just got home. You look amazing, son. It's a big deal around here when kids get their haircuts. Good job.
Only been 8 months.
It's only been 8 months, he says. He's keeping our bill down on haircuts. Thanks, son. All right, these are closed. Those first ones I put in, but I want them to be a little crispier. Oh, shit. No. A little longer. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Tonight we're doing homemade onion rings. It's not as hard as you think, and as well as you don't have to have a deep fryer. It just makes life a little easier sometimes. So get yourself a heavy bottom pot, put it on top of your stovetop, get it to medium-high heat, and fry them. They just have to have enough neutral oil, such as a canola or vegetable oil. I'm using vegetable today, to float. And as you see, they're fairly thin. I cut my onions pretty thin because we like them that way. They don't always come out that way. Sometimes some of them are thicker. You're kind of at the mercy of your onion, right? All right, I'm probably gonna go ahead and get this baby out because it's nice and crispy. So, and when you first pull it out is when you want to salt it because that's when that, the oil's still fresh. Ta-da. Now I did put some salt in the batter, but I like a little extra flaky salt on top, personally. Right, these 3 on this side are almost done. These 2, then we'll do the seltzer batter, and then we'll test them and see what we think. We already did 2 sauces. I did a creamy ranch sauce to dip them in, and what's this other one? A zesty mayo dipping sauce. Those are in the fridge chilling. So I'll post the recipes for the sauces and my batter, both ways, on my page probably the next day. Usually within the next day after a live stream. All right, a couple more minutes on those 2. So that is what it looks like, this batter. 1 dip. It stays on beautifully, and it's very crispy. I'll test it out for you in a bit. And that is with, it's got a combination of all-purpose flour, cornstarch, and an array of seasonings, and then I used 1 egg and some 1% milk to thicken it, or make it wet. Now this is the same exact base, but we're going to use, you could use a beer substance, a beer, or you could use club soda. So I'm going to try it and see if it's all they say it is. I did it before, and when I did the egg and milk, because I always have egg and milk in my fridge, I don't always have the club soda, and I rarely have beer. So that's why I always use the egg and milk. But look how beautiful it is, and it tastes it tastes good. So I don't know. We'll try it, and I'll tell you. Maybe I'll change my mind. We're about to see if I'm going to change my mind. Okay, so those are done. We're going to scooch this way for just a second here. Somewhere. It's my table. Here we go. And we'll make that second batter, which is, again, all the same. The flour, it's 1.5 cups all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon paprika, a teaspoon each of onion powder and garlic powder. Then I'm going to add enough club soda to make it a nice batter. Oh, did you see that? Nice. Awesome. It was shaken up a little. And then we'll drop those and we'll give them a taste test and see what we think. Now, when I do the milk and egg, it's an egg in 1 cup. But I don't honestly know. So I'm just going to put it in. It's at least going to be 1 cup, probably. And I'm not measuring clearly. So, but see the fizz of the beer, the carbonation of the beer and the club soda is supposed to be what makes it so crispy. So we're about to find out if it's really worth all the hoo-ha. If I'm going to need to keep a club soda in my fridge, for when I want to do these. She's making a mess. Okay, that looks about right to me. Just kidding. All right, we're going to do it again. We're going to drop another few in here and see what we think. And then I'll share the recipe to the batter and the whole deal here soon. There, now you got no head, but that's all right. No head. Let's do it. I don't know what I did with my other. Here it is. Here it is. It looks the same so far. Other than the batter got a little fizzy at first. A little exciting. Shoot. She made a mess. All right. Let's do it. Get a couple in and see what we think. She's making a mess everywhere. That one floated right away, but this first one's sticking. Ooh, that one stuck a lot worse to the bottom, like it took some of the batter, where that didn't happen with any of my milk and egg. So there's one, maybe it's just an operator error. The other one's floating beautifully. Let's do some more. It always sinks to the bottom, and if you're using the racks like I am, the baskets, then they kind of sit on the bottom and they'll stick. So after a few seconds, I just kind of poke them with my object and safely, and then they float back to the top. Like that one floated right away. Cool. Okay, we had one down. No big deal. It's no big deal. But they're going to do that in anything you cook. They're going to sink for just that few seconds, and then they should pop up. If not, just give them a little nudge. That one's hanging out. What are you doing down there? But I just gave it a little lift, and it popped right up. Let's see what we get. If you make the sound when you put it in, maybe it does it better. Let's get you unstuck. Why are you down there? Oh, it came out. Okay, it's not the batter. It was just me. I wanted to blame the batter. Okay, let's get a couple more in. We got to have a equal number of rings going. And then that's it. That's all I'm really cooking right now, because it's really just to show you how to make them and to compare the two types of ways to wet your batter, or my batter, and go from there. We got someone sticking. Oh, there he is. He popped up. All right, everybody's floating. Everybody's cooking. My heat is at 350. That's your ideal heat point. Which, if you have a skillet or a deep fryer, that's much easier to control that temperature. If you're doing it on the top of your stove, I've cooked them way too fast, and then the batter cooks and gets, they're not golden and beautiful. So that's why I do like using a temperature controlled burner for those. Ta-da! We almost have some taste test stability onion rings, guys. I just started making onion rings, I don't know, a year or two ago, within the last 2 years, and it's not as hard as I ever thought it would be. It just takes time. If you're just cooking a few for you or you're one person, but I gotta do like a whole bunch. Not right now, but in general. All right, those are cooking up. So let's get out our sauces. And these ones are gonna pop out. We'll salt them and we'll taste them, or I'll taste them, and let you know what I think about the various batters. You might already have an opinion. Maybe you've made them before and you prefer them with the beer batter or the seltzer batter. Those look nice. It's really good. Just like with nothing. That is a sweet onion. It's very good. So that's the with milk and egg. Onion. Very good. I've never made a blooming onion. I'm going to make one for the first time tonight after this live. Couple more minutes. And we'll let you know how that turns out. Unless you're going to be on my other live and you can see how it turns out. We got one sauce. I move this sauce to a different bowl. Keep an eye on my onion rings, would ya? Don't let them burn. They're almost done. And then I'm going to let Dustin come in. And I'm not going to tell him which one is which. And he can tell us on his honest opinion what he thinks. And the only difference was milk over club soda on the batters. These ones seems to take I don't know, I'm just being impatient. Take a few more minutes. It's probably my imagination. Oh, jeez. Because I want them a little bit more cooked than that. It's a greasy mess. So I did this sauce. This one is the, what did I call it? A zesty mayo dipping sauce. It has half a cup of mayo, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, a tablespoon of horseradish sauce, some paprika, onion powder, and garlic powder. And then I added in a little bit of the hot sauce. I used the, what's that brand? I don't remember now. Or you could put a little cayenne in. What is that stuff called I use? Oh, this stuff. Sorry, Frank's. I put a little bit of Frank's in there. And that's this sauce here. This one was basically a ranch sauce. I did mayonnaise, cream cheese, and then my ranch seasoning. Mayonnaise, sour cream, and my ranch seasoning. No cream cheese. All right, let's get these out to the right amount of crispy. And then we'll taste them, and I'll see they look the same as far as what they look like. The egg and milk batter versus the club soda. But is it crispier? I don't know. Let's turn the heat off. And then I'm going to salt them. Let's scooch this way again. Hi. And then we're going to salt them. Oop. Dustin, you want to come taste them for me? He's going to come do a taste test. So the front here, closest to me, these are the club soda. And those are the egg and milk. We don't want to know. Might be paying attention.
As soon as we get 200 people in there,
Oh, shit.
I'll only do it for 200.
Get over here. He's full of shit. Full of S. Be careful, this little contraption's hot. So you got this pile and this one. You got your ranch sauce. Can't really see shit on this, can we?
Did you know you were spelling the word boo?
Was I?
With the onion rings in here?
Was I?
And O.
I told. How tall is he? 6'7".
6'7". 6'7".
All right, try them and tell me which one you like better, if at all, if there's a difference.
They look different.
They do?
Already. Huh?
How?
These are darker and.
Let me try this one.
With a little
Oh. Whoa. Ooh, hear that?
Let me try.
All right, Shannon knows the
Oh,
difference.
why did I dip it? I'm not supposed
You
to
can dip it. No, there was no rule that you couldn't dip it. Okay, now that one, I don't know. Did you just hear that crisp crunch? Very crunchy. Okay. I know now. I know now. Now, let me try this other one. It's very good. Okay. Now this one, that crunch doesn't compare. But try it. Tell me what you think. More ranch on this one.
It's really good texture and taste. Oh yeah, no, definitely better.
Oh yeah, that one's definitely better. So I don't know if you can hear the crunch difference. The
Which ones are
flavors,
these?
those are the ones with the club soda.
Oh,
So Shannon learned something today, guys. I was like, egg and milk, it's great. But that is a huge difference in the crisp
yeah, big difference.
ability. Watch. We'll do it again. Ahara. Oh, I do hear it. Sounds so loud in my ears. And then this one. That one's good. It's like slightly softer. Okay, Shannon's sold on club soda and or beer now. Now, if you don't have club soda or beer in your refrigerator, that's okay. Use 1 egg and milk. They're still good. But for crispiness, there's no question now. Zero question in my mind. That's so much crispier.
What's the lurch sound? What sound does lurch make?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not sure. Now he's Googling it, guys. Okay, so again, you could use egg or milk if you don't have the seltzer club soda. Club soda or a beer. If you choose beer, use a light ale or a light flavored beer. Anyway, that's what I read. Again, I haven't used beer, so I know nothing about beer. But I do know club soda just made it super crispy over the milk and the egg. So going forward, if it's not on the moment,
Terry.
let's have some. What'd she say?
That's what you think of me?
Then I'm doing it this way from now on. Okay. Again, they're not terrible. They're just softer. I mean, they're a little crisp. This one, full crisp. So, playing with onion rings now. My mom always said when I was playing with my food, I must be done. So that means Shannon must be done with brunch. It's not brunch today. It's live at 5. And it's Monday. So thanks for joining me. I'll post the batter recipe to the onion rings in the next 24 hours on this page on YouTube. So hang out if you're interested. Is that what he does?
Yeah, you rang.
Oh God, now I know. Lurk.
I do kind of sound like.
And the sauces as well. So thanks for joining. I will be posting a shortened version of this whole live, so that you can just get to the point of the recipe. I'll definitely give you my opinion on both. But again, if you don't have the club soda or the beer at your disposal, it's still good if you use the egg and milk. But Shannon just learned that it's way crispier with club soda or beer because of the carbonation. So I got to try things to learn things sometimes. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you on Wednesday, 5 p.m. and Friday at 5 p.m. So have a great week.
Bye.
Bye, he says.